This is a comparison and prediction video for the David Haye versus Mark Mori fight. It's happening in 11 days, next Saturday. So, Mark Mori is a big guy, he's a proven power puncher. He's about an inch shorter than David Haye. David Haye is 6'3", 7'8" reach and weighs about 215 pounds. 215 pounds. He's not been weighed for a while, but going by his past weights, he weighs about 215 pounds, which is very light for a heavyweight these days. Mark Mori is 6'2", 247 pounds, 245, 247 pounds with a 7'8" reach as well. So David Haye has a very slight height advantage. Mori has quite a significant weight advantage. So you would think the weight advantage would give him more punch resistance. But Mori has been stopped before, I think quite early in the fight. And David Haye is also a very known power puncher. So we'll see how things go on Saturday. The experience difference is probably the most significant advantage for David Haye here. Mark Mori has been fighting at quite a low level. Mark Mori himself is ranked 105 in the world on BoxRec, and he's been fighting guys. I think his last opponent was something ranked between 250th in the world and 220th in the world in BoxRec, and he's knocking them guys out quite easily. Yeah, a lot of the people are not ranked in the top 100 that Mark Mori fights as well. So maybe that could explain why his punching power is so effective at the lower level, because the people at a lower level aren't as elusive, aren't as fast, don't have the reflexes of top level heavyweights. So it's easier for Mark Mori to hit them with the shots. He's a lot more accurate at that level. So maybe when Mark Mori actually does come up to the top level, it's not going to have the same level of punching power. But we'll see when he gets the opportunity to actually fight David Haye here. This is a massive opportunity for Mark Mori. So I don't think he's going to put it to waste at all. He's going to go out there and he's going to try and prove to people he should be in that top level, that he has not got the fights he wants because people have been trying to avoid him, because his promoter Don King was not letting him get the fights that he wants. So Mark Mori's got the opportunity here to prove the vast majority of people wrong here, because everybody knows David Haye is proven at the top level. He was a WBA champion at heavyweight. He won the WBA belt by fighting a guy called Nicolas Valouv, the 7'2", 317 pound, 85-inch reach giant. There had never been a heavyweight fight with someone fighting with such a disadvantage as David Haye fought at. He's in the Guinness Book of Records now for fighting a guy in the heavyweight championships who has over a 100-pound weight advantage over him. Now, Mark Mori, just like I said, hasn't proven his power at that level. When David Haye did step up to heavyweight, he fought a bunch of guys who were ranked in the top 100. Some of them were ex-champions, like Ruiz, knocked him out. Didn't knock out Wladimir, but went 12 rounds with him, which is quite a big achievement on itself. Not a lot of people managed to go 12 rounds with Wladimir Klitschko, or didn't used to go 12 rounds with Wladimir Klitschko during that time, so that was a massive achievement. And even at that top level, I think his punching power is still over 80% KO rate at the 7 or 9 fights he had at heavyweight. So he does have the punching power there. He has more punching power, proven punching power, than Mark Mori. Mark Mori's KO rate's only about 79%. Now obviously, it's not just about David Haye's punching power. David Haye's very elusive with his footwork. He's got amazing footwork, amazing reflexes as well. He can punch at some very awkward angles. I wouldn't say he has great speed for combination punches, but he throws haymakers and he throws them fast. I mean, you can't see them sometimes, they're so quick. And that combined with his footwork to get him in and out of range is what makes David Haye such a dangerous opponent, even at that very light weight that he's at. Just like I said, he's stopped Chisora the first time in Chisora's career. I think Chisora has been stopped once since. Knocked Chisora out in the 5th round, and Chisora was been in there with Vitaly Klitschko and survived with him, and like Tyson Fury twice in 5 films. So David Haye is very well proven. Now the problem with David Haye is he's coming back, and no one knows how much of that reflexes and footwork that made him so incredible are actually still there. For example, when Muhammad Ali came back in the 70s, Muhammad Ali came back, he was still a very young guy at 28. But it took him quite a few fights to get the ring rust off him. Even though he'd been sparring and training a lot, the ring rust had still been there. And if you just watch the Jerry Corey fights or the Oscar Bonavina fights, Ali was getting hit a lot. Notably compared to his fights after the Joe Frazier fight and his fights before he was forced out of the ring by the US government. So he had that ring rust there, and it took him quite a few fights, even though he was sparring, even though he was training, to get rid of that. So it's like same thing could happen to David Haye. And Mark DeWarry might be able to give an upset because of just that reason alone. Because David Haye goes in there thinking he still has the same reflexes, just like Ali did, and getting caught by the punches, and unlike Ali actually going down. I mean, it could happen. Now David Haye is 35 now. Now a lot of people were pointing at that and saying, well, he's not young anymore. He'll definitely be on a downward slope because the last time he fought he was 32. But I would say no. There's no real proof of that. I wouldn't just his age at age 35. Arguably, Wladimir Klitschko, the Klitschko brothers had some of their best years. Maybe not Vitaly, but definitely Wladimir. Povetkin, I think, was fighting at his best when he was 35. Lennox Lewis as well, I thought he was at his best when he was in his about 35s and his middle 30s as well. I thought that's when they were at the best, the height of their career. So I wouldn't say there's any proof that David Haye is on a decline now. Because of his age, I think maybe the inactivity from the ring might make David Haye not David Haye anymore, not have the kind of elusive cat-like reflexes that he did before. But it's definitely not his age. Other thing you've got to come back to is I think what Mark Mori really has to do to win this fight is to come out and try and surprise David Haye within the first few rounds. I mean, this is going to be the first fight David Haye's fought in over 3 years, and I think if you can go out there and maybe surprise him in the first 3 rounds, he might be able to get him out of a couple of good blows and actually prove he does have that punching power at the top level and take David Haye out of there. I think that's the best scenario for Mark Mori, because I think David Haye's going to prove far too elusive, too fast with his reflexes. I don't think he's going to let I don't think David Haye is going to let Mark Mori catch him against the ropes and catch him in the corners like Derek Chisora had the opportunity to do a couple of times. David Haye's going to try and put on a show and try and stay out of range. I think this fight's going to go about 5 rounds. I think David Haye's going to have a KO victory in the 5th round. So that's my prediction for the fight.